So, namaskar everyone. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the HTML. We're going to talk about the basic HTML, and after onwards, we're going to talk about the advanced part. So, in this video, we'll be talking about the problems that we have while we're writing HTML code. Same like that, the mistakes which we keep on doing whenever we're writing HTML code, like whenever we're working in certain company, there are a lot of developer who will do mistake while they are writing the HTML. So that's a thing that must have to be known, or every developer must have to be aware of. So without any delay, let us go to our screen and talk about HTML, its evolution, and its history. So basically, this HTML course is for students of greater than graded. So, so anybody who is studying above 8, let's say 9, 10, or any college university level, then this HTML course is for you, where you learn about everything, whatever have to be learned in HTML. So I'm talking about this as an experienced web developer also. So I have been working on such kind of project throughout my journey in company. So I'm a full stack developer. So we'll talk about every kind of mistakes which we do while you're writing HTML code. As it seems very easy, but many developers do some mistakes whenever they're writing such code. So without any so let us talk about HTML then. So HTML, we have talked about the how the web works already in previous course. If you haven't checked out that, I will leave that playlist in the description. You can check out that play course also. So HTML. So HTML is something that every website is made up of. In simple term, I like to tell that. So every kind of website, whatever we see over the internet, those all the websites are created by using HTML. So that's why it's a very popular language also. Means every digital world is comprised of HTML. Means the website you are seeing now, the video which you are seeing now, those all the things are made of HTML. So that's why HTML is a very important language over here. So what does HTML really means then? So HTML basically means the backbone of the web. Or let us say its full form is hypertext markup language. So here we have got a term called as markup. So HTML is not a programming language, which you'll have to know that first. So HTML is not a programming language, not neither a scripting language. So we don't have any logics over here. We don't have to play with any kind of processing or any kind of high-tech concept over here. Just it's a simple tool which help us to make something visible over the website or web page or the internet. That's what HTML is really called. So it is a basic fundamental that will help to build our web page. Means without HTML, we cannot create any kind of web page. Neither I, neither you, nobody can create any web page or website by using HTML. Until and unless we are doing some machine learning or we are doing some HTML level programming. So until that, we are not going to gain that thing. And talking about second paragraph, so HTML is called the skeleton of the website. Means this is like a skeleton of our body, which will help to support our body, which help to support our flesh, our skins. So our whole body is able to stand up due to the help of skeleton. Same like that, HTML also help to support our website structure. Means everything which we are able to see, the everything whatever we are seeing on the screen, those all the things are able to be seen, are visible, are able to stand up for making us stand is due to the help of HTML. So HTML has got some headings, paragraph, image, and links. That means whatever you are seeing over here, you can see in this page also or in the screen also that we have got a heading over here. This is a heading. The same like that, if you talk about the paragraph, you can see a first, second, and third paragraph. You can see some image over here. You can see some link over here. You can see here we have got button, share button at the top where my mouse is pointing. So that all the thing is due to the HTML, and HTML will exactly tell the browser what thing must have to be shown. Means, let's for example, you are seeing what is HTML, the backbone of the you are seeing this text. Why? Because HTML is telling the browser to show that text to us, to the user. So everything, whatever we are seeing is HTML, and our website will never exist. We cannot imagine a website without HTML. I mean, every kind of thing where it's done over the internet, that is done over the website. Like we click something, we scroll, we interact. Those all the things happen due to the help of HTML. Like we're scrolling now, or we're interacting with the screen. This thing is happening because this page is using HTML for that one. So let's talk about the history also. So history of HTML, how HTML have evolved from its beginning to till now, like how HTML has been able to live till now in this digital world. Like there is no other language which has been able to replace HTML. So we'll talk about that. First one, so HTML was started in 1999. This was the evolution. This was when the HTML was introduced in this world. So a computer scientist called as Tim Berners-Lee, he had invented HTML when he had introduced www to the world. Like at the same when the HTML was evolved, before that, www was also evolved in the world. Now, why? Now, what are the connection between them then? So www is something that helped to connect different kind of thing over the internet. Now, same like that. Now, if we have to connect something, means the user must have to get something to see that thing. So that's where HTML come in. So HTML has been able to create its place since 1991. In that time, there were just 18 elements only, means there were just 18 codes only, which you had to remember. But if we talk about the present time, there are lots of code, there are lots of tags, there are lots of things in HTML which we must have to know. Why? Because it has updated in different time. Like if you can see here, during 1995 to 1999, the HTML has got a huge growth over there. At that time, we had got two versions of HTML, like HTML 2.0 and 4.0. And in those versions, we've been introduced with table, form, and we had been introduced with better multimedia support. That means multimedia used to be there in this 1991, 90s time also. But it had become more and more better when HTML has started to finally grow on 1995 to 1991. And at that time, the HTML had started to gain its popularity all among the world. And people have started to use HTML in their browser, in their website. They started to create their own browser in a very easier way. Before that, it used to be very difficult to create the website. And after when HTML has finally evolved or finally grown at this time, so after that one, people have started to use this HTML. So after 2000, people have got another version of HTML called XHTML, which had brought a significant change in the HTML world. Means after that, HTML also had some rules. Before that, HTML, we just write down the code only. There were no rules. We just write down the code in whatever manner we like. But after 2000, there were certain rules that we must have to know. So that is the thing that every developer forget about whenever they are writing the code. So they don't think about the rules and they will mess up with the code. They will mess up with the layout of their website. And that's why the website doesn't feel better after completion. So, and at that time, we had been introduced with CSS and JavaScript also, let me tell you. And after 2014, finally, we had got the final version of HTML till now called HTML5, where we had got better graphics, we had got better audio, video, and you can see here it has introduced a term called as canvas. So canvas had been better after HTML5 was introduced. Now what does canvas means then? Now whatever you're seeing on the screen, you are able to draw something. I'm able to write something over here. That all the things has been possible due to the help of canvas. And same like that, many of the things now in website work without plugin. Like we have to create animations, we have to create some transitions. Now all those things are able to be done with the help of HTML only. We don't need any third-party application over here. That's how HTML has evolved in this world. Now, there are some key versions in HTML, like versions which you must have to know, like version 1.0, then 2.0, 3.2. So this was developed by W3C, which is called www consortium also. Now, after that, after HTML 3.2, we had been introduced with other HTML versions like HTML 4.1, XHTML, and HTML5. Now we are using HTML5 now, if we talk about the present scenario. So after HTML5, after knowing the version, let us talk about the how web browser use HTML. So what really happens? How really our browser is able to see or deliver this text? So it happens all because our server is storing HTML file for us. Our server does that thing. Our server is to HTML file. Now, whenever we are trying to open a website or let us say a web page, our server will deliver that HTML file to the browser, and browser will try to read that code. It will try to understand whatever written in that file. Like there might be some CSS, there might be some JavaScript, there might be some HTML code. Now, but what it does that browser will read that HTML, will read that text, will read the instruction over there, but it will remove all the HTML code over this. For example, an HTML code will contain such kind of thing like tag s1 p tag, which will be difficult for a normal user to understand. So HTML will remove, or our browser will remove all this kind of thing, and will just show you the text, just like here. You can see here we have got how web browser use HTML. But actually, how it might look if we look at the text is that it could have tag like this. But what our browser is doing? Our browser is removing such thing and just showing us this part only. So browser will render or will give us the thing that should have to be read by the user, not all the things that have been given by the server. And same like that, if it contains some CSS, JavaScript, now additional thing that browser does is it will adapt to that CSS, means that design, it will show that design if it is in the website. Same like that, if there is any kind of JavaScript, there is any kind of script, then browser will read that file, will read the JavaScript script, and make our website interactive and dynamic. Like what does that term interactive and dynamic means? Like you are able to scroll over here. You are able to write something over here. You are able to click anywhere on the screen. Now, how this has been possible, how we are interacting with this website or web page, because it contains JavaScript in it. So, hope you understand. These are the history and these are something that you must have to know about HTML. From tomorrow, we are going to start coding HTML, and before that, we'll see how or what kind of application should have to be there to code HTML. And for now, thank you.